Hello my lovelies and welcome to another plan with me. Today we are in my mini happy planner and we are going to be using this kit from FabPlannerPrint and it's called Winter Wellies. Not that it's overly wet at the moment. Cold but not wet. But anyway, so today I'm going to actually write in my dates. So the week we're doing is the 14th through to the 20th, and as you can see this planner is actually undated. So flip over and pen in the other side. Right, let's get started. So, regards to this kit, washi choices, couldn't really make up my mind, as you can see. So I've got this one, which is, it's got red and brown and coppers on there in a stripe pattern. I thought it kind of went really well with all the different aspects, different colours on there. Next up we have, and that's from the range in one of their box sets they did for recently. Oops, throw it away. This washi is actually made by duct tape, but it is washi tape. And I went for this because of the grey. There's little bits of grey in this kit. And the floral pattern, because obviously this one's quite floral. But in reflection, A, I don't think it's the right shade of grey, and B, the floral pattern doesn't really match. I suppose it's not too bad a match on the lace, but the colour aren't quite right, so probably won't use that one. The next one I picked out was this one. Again, this is a duct tape washi. And I think I found these in Hobbycraft. But I'm not sure now. I think it was Hobbycraft I found the duct tape washi in. Now I went for this because it's kind of a lacy pattern, and obviously you've got the lace in places, but it is just a generic black and white, and although that's not black and white, it would go. And then the other choice I've got is this, which obviously the red's in the kit, and then the angle of the stripes is kind of matching as well. So I think we might go for both the stripy ones, to be honest, on that one. And then clip wise, I've picked out these two. Now although this is like a marbly effect, these dinky clips are from Crafty Carly on Etsy. Now although there is the hint of that sort of shade of pink in there, and then the other one I've picked out, which is again is another dinky clip from Carly, is this little tiny striped heart, which I thought matched quite well. So right, let's get started, and as always I will lay my days of the week down first. So let's see, this is where she goes quiet because she's concentrating. These ones, though, this kit I like because it covers this literally just the day, and it covers up that coloured stripe. So although that coloured stripe is sort of really, oh hello, my date dot come out of that one. Okay, might have to find the tweezers. Now this is extremely delicate, so bear with me. I might have to go back. Oh, I will have to go back now and find my tweezers. And unfortunately I'm still using these ones, which aren't the ones I like using in any way, shape or form. They're just a bit thick, on the ends. Sounds a bit mad, I suppose. Just trying to line up the tiniest little circle. There we go. Right, we'll keep them close by in case it happens again. That's unusual, that doesn't normally happen. But, oh well. Yeah. So, if you guys watched my last video, and it wasn't until I edited the video to pop it up onto the channel, that I realised I never actually finished the story of what happened when I broke my hip on my horse, coming off my horse. And I in brief, I did explain about the fact that I'd come off my horse, I came to, I had my friend and her mum staring at me, you know, they'd popped me in the recovery position, they knew my dad was due, and whatnot. Looking back now, I'm not entirely sure why they didn't call an ambulance, but never mind. And you know that they had caught my horse and put him back in his stable, and that I'd got back on, and obviously my dad was due to turn up. And when he turned up, he had a go at me, shouting at me, asking me why I was still on my horse, why I wasn't ready. And at this point, my friend Becky's mum had taken her home because she had to go and feed not only Becky but her other siblings as well. And she said, I'll pop up to see your dad. So my dad's having a go at me at this point because I wasn't ready. I'm in floods of tears sat on the back of my horse trying to explain to him I can't actually get off my horse. My dad thinks I'm mucking around, etc., which I wasn't. I generally in so much pain. Basically what had happened, I'd come off my horse and I'd knocked myself unconscious, and I'd got bolt upright and didn't think anything else of it. Because obviously shock delays things. So I got bolt upright, ran straight round to my horse, got him out the stable, back on the horse, because as they say, if you have a fall, get straight back on, or fear you never will again. Just going to write notes in here. Of course, during the process of getting back on him and getting back schooling him and working with him and all the rest of it, Buggerlugs here, not realising she damaged herself any more than just knocking herself out unconscious, had suddenly realised she was in quite a lot of pain and had done some damage. And I'm sat on the back of my horse. My dad's having a go at me because he thinks I'm mucking around and all the rest of it. And I'm sat there saying to my dad, no, seriously, I'm in a lot of pain, Dad. I'm in a lot of pain. Stop shouting at me. You know, if you're not going to be helpful, just go home. I'll make my own way home. Bear in mind, we didn't live particularly close to the stables. I used to have to walk from school to the bus station at quite away from the school to get to the right bus stop, but it was on the way home, so it was sort of, I could walk so far with everybody else before diverting off and going elsewhere. So I used to walk sort of half the way home and then to catch this bus and then get this bus home down to the stables, or well, down to the village the stables was in, and then walk from the bus stop up to the stables. And there was a big estate house that was converted into flats. You used to be able to walk up their driveway over a fence into our sick paddock in the yard. Save you walking. Oh, I'll leave that tatty edge. Save you walking all the way to the end. To then have to walk all the way up the driveway. You sort of cut out quite a bit of walking time. So anyway, half hour had passed and my dad's shouting at me and me saying to my dad, go away, leave me alone, all the rest of it. My friend's mum turned back up, as she had said she would, and then explained to my dad what had happened. And that she had said to me that she'd come back to see you and explain that I was an accident and keep an eye on me. Actually thinking about it, I think my friend's mum was a nurse, but I can't remember now. Or at least she worked somewhere in the medical profession. And so she, at this point, decided to come in because she see I was in floods of tears. She'd obviously told my dad, look, back off, she's in shock. She's had a really nasty fall. She was unconscious for at least 15 minutes. And my dad started again. Oh well, I've told you before she shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. And what I'm going to do, I think I'll actually leave that Saturdays for Adventure, because I really quite like that quote. Which just means I won't have my little checklist thing in that I normally add in. So at this point, my dad's gone off in a half and lit up a cigarette, gone back to the car and lit up a cigarette. Obviously you couldn't smoke actually in the yard itself, but you could, there were sort of areas deemed safe enough to go and have a cigarette where you weren't so much of a fire risk. That's the washi in place. Now to pop the full boxes in. I think I'm just going to do this in order that they're in. Sorry, concentrating and counting. Counting boxes, make sure I was putting this one in the right place. So, Becky's mum's come into the arena and she's talking to me and explaining, asking me what's occurring. And I sort of said to her, I'm in a lot of pain. I can't physically get off my horse. She says, it hurts, I can't move. I said, I can't even ask Jack to move. I said, because it hurts, you know, excruciating pain. And she said, well, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. I think you may have badly injured yourself. Worse than, you know, just self-unconscious. Obviously you're not going to remember, but Becky said that Jack definitely didn't run over you. And she's sort of asking me how it happened, you know, where it hurt. And I said to her, it's my hip that hurts. And she said, well, to be fair, you did land on your side, according to Becky. You bounced on your side. And she said, look, I've got some painkillers in my bag. I'll nip to the car, take them, and we'll wait half an hour with you for them to kick in. I didn't do anything. Honestly, they didn't do anything. I still couldn't move. At this point, it's now hurting me just to sit still on my horse. My horse, being a young horse, didn't have the... Oops, I put that in the wrong place. Didn't have the patience to sit still long enough. So at this point he's getting antsy, he's walking around, he's digging at the ground, etc. It resulted in her calling the ambulance, My dad at this point still throwing a straw up and whinging because it's an inconvenience to him. Anyway, ambulance turned up, assessed the situation. He said, right, we're going to have to try and keep the horse as still as we can. Is there anything we can do to persuade him to stay still? I said, well, we could put a nose bag on him. So my friend's mum went and got a nose bag and filled it up with some pony nuts for him and try and keep him still. Meanwhile, the ambulance service have called the fire brigade. They didn't want to risk moving me because at this point they suspected that I had damaged my hip or my lower spine. They didn't want to move me. Ambulance service waited for the fire brigade. Fire brigade turned up. The next thing I know, the fire brigade have put a ladder either side of my horse, bearing when my horse was young. So at this point, my friends now put blinkers on him to stop him from completely freaking out. So that's my boxes and my flags put in. Now I'm going to do my deco, and as you see, I've got quite a lot. Now I love the idea of this beautiful, pretty little coffee cup going up on a Monday, because who doesn't need coffee on a Monday morning? So of course at this point I'm like, well, what's occurring? What's going on? And I'm now panicking because I'm seeing all these ladders going up the side of me and all this, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I like this. You know, what's occurring? What do you think's happened? And pop the brolly with the wellies, I think. The next thing I know is the fireman said, right, you need to stay as still as possible. We're going to lift you off your horse. And I'm thinking, oh, they're just going to pull me straight up. The next thing I know is I've got two hands at the back of my saddle, two hands at the front of the saddle and sort of gripping my legs against the side of the saddle. And I'm thinking, what the earth are you doing? Next thing I know, I'm lifted with the saddle. And they've pulled Jack out from underneath me. My friend's mum, my dad's still sulking at this point, in the car park. And my friend's mum has walked Jack away, put him in his stable, sort of said, don't worry, me and Becky will sort him out, we'll feed him. Have you made his feed up? So yeah, it's on his bins, in his bins. And this, they've lowered me down onto a stretcher. I'm now face down on this stretcher with the saddle still very much between my legs, to the point they've actually secured the saddle to my legs and said we don't want to risk moving the saddle in case we do more damage. At which point the paramedics have dumped me in the back of the ambulance and I've gone off to hospital with the saddle still between my legs, face down on the ambulance bed. I have never been so embarrassed being wheeled into a hospital in my life. Not that I've ever been in an ambulance before or since that. Touch wood, I don't have to have an ambulance call. They do a fantastic job. I'd rather not be a burden as well, though. So yeah, that's the funny bit of the story. I got wheeled into hospital, basically face down, backside up, with a saddle still firmly planted between my legs, to then get told that I plan on a Friday in this planner. So I'm going to stick it up here rather than on the washi. So yeah, I've arrived face down, arse up in there to be told that I've cracked my actual hip around the bulb of my femur, which is why I couldn't move. Apparently I'm very lucky it didn't actually crack the bulb of my femur as well. Obviously the bulb of your bone is the bit that sits in the socket and moves. To get told it's going to take at least 6 months to heal, that I can't go to school, this, that and the next thing. Now, like I said, I was 15 when this happened. I was 2 days into my final year at school to then have 6 months out. Yeah, you can imagine I didn't do overly well in my exams as a result, because I'd missed the coursework and the revision prep work, etc. So I spent the rest of the year trying to catch up and take my exams. Hey, I turned it around. I got an education, I got a career. Happy days. But, like I said, looking back now, so embarrassed at the time, but it's so hilarious. You know, I honestly don't know of anyone else who's had to go through that or heard any stories. So, you know, that's kind of how it is. Right, so moving on, or getting back to the task in hand, which is the plan with me. It's pretty much done. This is literally all I do in this planner. Because I use it as a record. Not memory. It's not memory planning. It's a record of my 2 boys, basically. Because of their varying issues. And it just gives me little notes and things of if someone's had a bad day, why they've had a bad day, so on and so forth, or what I think's going on in their heads. Just somewhere to put this offload, if you like, what's going on with my kids. But this is it. This is my plan with me. I hope you liked my little story. Probably could have told it a bit better, but this is only a short plan with me. In regards to, I'm pleasantly happy with that washi, although I think that may have been a bit bold. It works. That is all I have left of the kit. I don't put any functionals in this, so the telephone and the bin I never ever use. I don't throw this away straight away. I wait till the end of the week, so it'd be the Saturday, in case I decide to use these little extra bits here. Sort of make a note like I did with I plan on a Friday in this planner. And that, my lovelies, is it for today. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. And hope to see you on my next video. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. You know, bear with me, I am still new to this. So things will improve as I get my head around what I'm doing and so on and so forth. If you've got any suggestions or any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask, and I will help as best I can. Okay, my lovelies, take care. Bye.